can't believe we're doing this again. I can't believe just my life just continually repeats itself. Just endless wars in the Middle East being done in the interests of the United States and in the interests of Israel endlessly forever because we have leaders in this country that refuse to say no. So I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that the United States and Israel have gone to war with Iran. They've killed Ali Khamenei. They have started bombing apparently targeted strikes, but looks pretty indiscriminate to me, and they have dragged the Middle East into a broader conflict. Iran has retaliated against US bases in other Middle Eastern Gulf nations, those ones that continually were told that they could become thriving petrostates because they would have the United States as military shield around them, and now they're getting attacked by Iran. And all of the tax exiles are now fleeing back, apparently at the cost of the exchequer, which is great. Thanks for that. Appreciate it, Keir. And now, because we are continually in lockstep with the United States, we have committed all of our foreign policy and our security to Washington, to the White House. Keir Starmer stood up today, having previously, yesterday, taken what I thought was a better stance than I expected, of trying as best as possible to only ever engage in defense of ourselves, has now come out today and said that he's happy for US, UK bases to be used to fly US flights for their illegal regime change war in Iran. And not only an hour after Keir Starmer said that, there's been a strike on RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, allegedly by Iran. There have been explosions, it's not been confirmed. But an hour after Keir Starmer essentially says, yes, Mr. Trump, I am your lapdog, I will do what you want, immediately, it looks like Iran has struck the UK, which will, take us further into this conflict. Again, we're going to do the Iraq War again. I cannot believe we're doing the Iraq War again. Nobody wants this. No one wants this. Zach Polanski has been very principled coming out. This is an illegal war, an illegal regime change war that nobody wants. He's been very principled in this. All the SW1 journos spitting blood over Zach Polanski, clearly marking out this is an illegal regime change war that failed when we tried it in Libya, it failed when we tried it in Afghanistan, when we tried it in Iraq, it created a giant power vacuum and it created ISIS, it created a wave of refugees. SW1 journalists absolutely pissing themselves over Zach Polanski taking a principled stance against violations of the UN Charter. Now we see why he was right. It's just Zach Polanski here standing up for British interests. This is not in British interests. Destabilising a country of 90 million people and creating infinite refugee crises. Nigel Farage always said he never wanted war with Iran. He wanted us to use US bases. He wanted us to let the US use our bases to launch their attacks on Iran. Nigel Farage is not a populist. He is just another cockboy bitch for Donald Trump and the White House. He's owned by America. We are owned by America. We do not have independent foreign policy in this country. And here we are, once again, 25 years later, doing the same thing again. The same thing again. Europe is going to get massive increases in inflation because the Strait of Hormuz has been closed. We're already seeing the insurance costs on oil tankers going through the strait massively increase. It's basically closed. There's already been a tanker that's been hit. No tanker is going to be going through that now. It's going to see a massive increase in oil prices. That will affect Europe. That will massively increase inflation. We'll have a decade of refugee crisis. Will give us even more political instability. Suddenly, all the brave Iranians that Nigel Farage is praising right now, they'll be dirty, rotten scroungers when they arrive on our shores, having been destabilised by a war that we are now participating in, that we have now acquiesced to Trump in participating in. We'll get infinite oil shocks, just like it's worse than the 1970s, because this is not only affecting Iran in terms of blocking petrostates from delivering out of the Gulf, it's also stopping those Gulf states from continuing to be able to be economically active whilst they defend themselves from a war. Do you think that's going to go well, Keir? Do you think that's going to be good for your approval rating, given that the cost of living crisis is probably reason one, patient zero for your low approval ratings? Do you think it's going to go well to acquiesce to even more of a massive oil shock? And of course it won't. The beneficiary of this is the United States. They've been exporting gas, liquefied natural gas, and oil to Europe in huge amounts. They want the oil price to go up. You know who else wants the oil price to go up? Fucking Russia. We talk all about we want to be defending Ukraine as we should, and now we're out here massively increasing the revenue that Russia will generate from its oil sales because Trump has decided that he wants to be able to save his approval ratings by starting yet another regime change war. Why? Those refugees, they're not going to America, they're going to come to Europe. Europeans who cheer for this, who clap like seals to follow Donald Trump into a legal regime change war, are digging the grave for their own continent and politics. They are digging their own fucking graves. America needs to get out. Out of my country, out of my continent, get the fuck out. We are out here, not only are our service personnel going to be at risk, potentially our civilians are going to be at risk because we are being targeted because we are essentially hand in glove with the White House in the United States of America. Is this keeping us defensively safe? Mr. fucking Dearlove, who greenlit the Iraq War and helped Vladimir Putin get elected as president of Russia against Zyuganov in his first electoral test, right? Who was the main person who allowed us to justify the illegal war in Iraq, which again, political instability, refugee crises, people dead both here and abroad. He's out there going, oh, Zach Polanski's a danger to national security. How are we secure? How the fuck are we secure by allowing America to drag us into a regime change war with an infinitely more powerful state than Iraq was at the time? An infinitely larger state than Iraq was at the time. All at the behest of fucking Benjamin Netanyahu's political fucking interests, the Israeli state's insistence on wanting to destabilize everywhere to be able to get its Western attack dogs on its political enemies. And what has that gotten us? Nothing. It'll give us political instability, economic ruin, and potential World War III. I'm losing my fucking mind, chat. I am losing my mind. I would just like to have a world where Western powers don't follow America into ruining people's lives. I just want a world in which I don't have to worry that the money that I give to this government isn't going to get used to murder people in the Middle East. I just want a prime minister who isn't pathetic, snivelling lapdog, a supine fucking lapdog cumsock for the American president. Is that too much to ask, chat? Is that too much to ask? And the entirety of the British media are getting in behind this regime change war. No one wants this. The Iraq war, fucking 25 years later, has a minus fucking 30-point approval rating. Everyone hates Trump. Everyone hates Israel. Everyone hates Keir Starmer. And they're all gang up to make this country even less safe and even more unstable. No one supports this. Why? Well, our politicians are not getting to stick heads. The public do not want war. They do not want to be servants of Israel. They do not want to be servants of the fucking United States. We do not want this. It's overwhelmingly unpopular. And yet Keir Starmer, in his infinite wisdom of being cucked out as a former member of the Trilateral Commission with a party full of people from the British American Project, an Atlanticist to his core, is going to put the interests of the White House and Trump over the interests of the people of this country. I just want it to stop. Well, that's my unhinged ramble for tonight. See you in the morning.